Everyone's talking about agents these days, but what kind of agents should you build? I've got a solution. What you do is ask Claude to build the agents for you. Is Frank from Obelisk? Let's go. Today, we're going to use Claude Cowork to build 7 marketing agents for us, and it is remarkably simple to do it. In this session, we're going to build the following agents: a Meridian Voice Guardian, a content engine, social studio, ritual sequences, landscape scout, horizon search, and the cadence analyst. These are all skills that we're going to build and save based on Claude Cowork's recommendations. So these are all fancy titles for our skills / agents, but how do they help with marketing? Well, the Voice Guardian checks your brand documents to ensure that you're following the guidelines like proper taglines and content length. The content engine ensures that blogs and other long-form content fit our customers. The Social Studio agent will recommend on-brand content for Instagram, LinkedIn, or other platforms. Next, the Sequence Architect recommends a plan for emails that we're going to send to our customers. 5, our Landscape Scout is watching our competitive landscape. It's our competitive research agent. The Horizon Search Agent, it recommends words for search engine optimization. So finally, the Cadence Analyst evaluates marketing channel performance. Okay, first off, and this is very important, make sure that you've created a project for your company. So I've created a project called Meridian Attitudes Coffee. And in here, I've put in here all of my branding documents. Okay, put in your logo, put in all sorts of different images, right? And I'll show you the 3 core brand documents that you absolutely need to have in your project in order for this to work. 1, your brand voice guide, which talks about your brand identity and positioning, brand voice, and tone. The vocabulary, what you sound like as your brand, what you never sound like, and some examples of wording in your brand. The next thing that you need is a style guide. So it talks about who Meridian Coffee, Attitudes Coffee, is, their primary audience, core taglines, and other information. Right? What's the voice and tone, and content pillars, and most importantly, some writing standards. So, how long are your articles? How do you phrase them? Right? How do you work? Do you work in short paragraphs? Do you use bullets? No bullets? And finally, and probably most importantly, is a listing of our ideal customers. In the biz, this is called personas. So I have a document that outlines 3 different personas belonging in different age groups, outlining the characteristics of our ideal customers. We also see what's their connection to the brand. Once we have that framing, the agents can then know what ballpark they're batting in and can provide excellent content for you and use as a reference and guidelines to make sure that you never go off track or off brand. Now for our prompt. Goes like this: suggest 7 agents I could use to make recommendations and perform marketing to boost Meridian Attitudes brand. Claude has come back with 7 excellent recommendations. First off, the Compass Voice Guide, Persona Content Engine, Celestial Social Studio. Let's take a look at our first skill, the Voice Guardian. Notice in here is all the information that related back to those 3 brand documents that we reviewed. It's going to go and function as our editor. It's also going to show us what layout it's going to use when it generates a report for us or interacts with any other agents. We can go in and make any edits that we need to this and resave this skill at any time. Review each of the skills and make sure that your agents are going to accomplish what you want. Check any brand guidelines and anything that's associated with your brand. Be sure to go ahead and save all of your skills. And there we have it. We've got our 7 skills saved. There are 7 agents and they're saved as skills. One thing to note, and Claude will tell you, if you need to add any connectors in order for these different agents to function. So it might ask you to connect to your CRM system or design system like Figma or Canva. So after we've created our agents, Claude Cowork provides some recommendations. For example, it lets us know what each of the agents does and also how often it recommends that it's used. So for example, Content Engine is used weekly. We get a little bit more definition to some of our agents here. For the Social Studio, now it outlines the fact that we can have it create posts for Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, X, and others. Add them in to our chat window and run them. Claude Cowork comes back and asks us what we would like to do with these 7 agents. Run the opening sequence, run one specific agent, schedule the recurring ones, or review and adjust the agents and to refine them. I'm going to click on Run the Opening Sequence. Now, one thing you may be wondering about is what are the connections between these different agents? How do they work together to get things done? If we go back into our document that explains our agents, it shows how they connect together and work together to create better content. So our content production loop uses Horizon Search, Content Engine, the Voice Guardian, Social Studio, and Cadence Analyst to get stuff done. The strategy loop uses 3, Agent Scout, Horizon Search, and Content Engine. And finally, the lifecycle loop uses the ritual sequences, the Voice Guardian, and the Cadence Analyst to put together excellent email chains that we can then have approved and send out to our clients. If I scroll down to the bottom, it shows us what connectors we might use to get everything kind of onboarded properly to make best use of all these agents. This is where Claude Cowork shows its amazing ability to work together. Essentially, these agents work hand in hand. Primary agents, such as the content creation agent, goes out and becomes an engine for content, while that agent then hands off to our guardian voice, where it checks to see whether we're following guidelines properly. When we ran our initial loop, what did we get? First off, we've got the listing of the competitive landscape. So it shows us where things are working, where things aren't working, and who our key competitors are. Claude Cowork is recommending these working titles. So, for one of the working titles, we've got The Second Cup, Why the Evening Deserves as Much Attention as the Morning. Next, Precision is a Form of Calm, Designing Morning That Holds. And you can see the personas that it's recommending there. Outside of that list, an additional list of other topics that we could use or keywords that we could give our attention to. So, as an example, we might want to make a distinction between those who drink coffee and those who drink matcha. Okay. Next up, we have our content engine agent has come back and created draft articles. And there are 3 articles that it created and let us know which personas it's really targeted to. And the content here is quite extraordinary because it's read our brand guidelines and it's done an excellent job. Okay, so there's our second article. Precision is a form of calm, designing a morning that holds. And that's for Priya. And it shows us the word count and the brand mentioning, right? With a soft sell, not a hard sell. Okay, and finally, we have Article 3 that is related to gift giving. But wouldn't it be great if we had a team member kind of evaluating those articles even before we got it? Well, that's where we have our overall voice guardian weighing in. So it does its own evaluation and says where those articles worked and where they failed, whether the article length was appropriate, and where to trim content, right? And it makes those recommendations there. So we have our 7 agents. Go out and use these for your marketing team. This is Frank from Obelisk, saving you marketing dollars with AI. And I'll see you in the next one.